So today I'm going to be rebuilding some arches because I've put too much weight on them in the past and now they don't want to stand up. So we're going to be reinforcing this with some rebar, and to do that I need a welder. That ought to keep us pretty stable as we put weight toward the top here, trying to push it toward the front. But I think I'm also going to put some supports on the sides just to help this frame a little bit because it's a very lightweight frame. Styrofoam is a little flammable. I would ordinarily not do it with that, but I didn't want to take it off. I already done all the work to put it on. Once the top's semi-secure, I can do the bottom. Super handy to know how to do a few different things. Now we're at the place where we're going to start adding our panels, because that is the fastest way to do this, is to just attach some of these together. Try and keep your foliage going down, so up, bolts. And then these just usually attach, they have little prongs that are going to attach together. See, maybe we can get the tube to reach around, I'm not sure. I use some wire, and I've also got some zip ties to use, just in case I need to close the gaps anywhere. Makes it slightly easier. But we are trying to make these semi-permanent, so it's okay to wire them together or zip tie them together. I'm going to be a little bit short here, so I'm going to have to take one of these panels apart. You can just pop those little plastic tabs, because these are really 12 by 12 squares. But I'm going to make it a 12 by 24-ish square to complete this piece. Wire out of the way. Already zip tied that one. Do something. Not sure to what. And we'll just attach and pop this one in. That should cover the base, and then we're just going to start stacking on top of that. Got a little room for some overlap here. We were pretty close. I probably don't need this entire section, so it's probably easier to just go ahead and add it. Especially down here at the bottom, we may actually need that excess because it does get a little wider toward the bottom. You just want to make sure that's going to stay kind of close back. You can wire this if you choose to. It's not really necessary, but that's really up to you. I'm not going to because I'm going to be adding florals and things, and I can put something in there that will hold that back. And then we're just going to keep adding, fold it down. This one should be okay with just the 2 panels. I think we are actually sold out of this panel, but I think we still have boxwood panels. Sometimes we sell out of these during the spring season. And this may get a little trickier as we get toward the top. But we want to make sure that we get this one side kind of snapped together all the way down, because it probably fits at the bottom part, not necessarily at the top. We should be okay there. Attach this in the back. Again, we're going to have a little bit of overlap in the back. Attach this somewhere a little higher. So I've got a little gap here, but that's okay. Like I said, once we go through and start adding some of our florals and things into the styrofoam, that's going to hold that in place a little bit better, so that's okay. The important thing is to get it covered pretty well all the way across. So this is probably a place where we're going to be alright just to go together at the top. I think it's going to fit together at the bottom too well. See how far down it goes. Alright, so I ended up with a little gap here. Just that. So I don't really need an entire strip. I don't need a whole piece. I just need a partial. So we'll probably just end up cutting this one so that we get the right size. And then we should end up with a smaller piece like this. Hopefully we can find a place to attach this. Possibly. If not, easiest thing to do is to just wire it together. Give a little bit of curve right there. And you don't want to be able to see this grid at all, but if you do, it's okay. We're going to add more foliage. We are going to add more flowers. So keep in mind, this is not finished product. This is just covering the majority of things and keeping us from having to add every single piece of foliage individually. We can just take some wire and tighten that up a bit in a couple of places, and that will adjust our gap for the most part. get started adding some more foliages so this is not so tight into the actual arches. I want a little more loose and wild and free flowy. This is pretty much the start. I've got some other things I've got to add. I've got to add a little more greenery. And this particular customer that we're doing this for this weekend, this is Sunday. I don't know what you guys are doing on Sunday, but I'm building arches. Trying to get ahead. But this particular customer asked for some very light yellow to be added in. So I'm going to do that, but we thought for the video we would do mostly whites. And from this point, we could really add a lot more white, but they look really good with a lot of the green showing coming through as well. So you could add as more or as little as you like. You could add some pinks to this. You could add other colors, but this is just a good start. So I thank you for watching. I hope you hit the subscribe button, like, comment, all those things. You can always shop our collection at davidchristofers.com. We sell wholesale and retail, so if you need lots of these, you may click the wholesale button because you have a store, you have a tax number, you have those kinds of things. If you only need a few and you want to do it yourself, we sell retail. You can go there and see the same kinds of things at really good prices. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I now pronounce you ready to make your own floral arch. Maybe not with the welding, so get somebody else to do that.